understand that when you've worked on something for multiple years and you've put your heart and soul into it, you want everybody to love it the way you do. But the way Randy Pitchford is talking to customers on social media is completely unacceptable. He has been melting down over the fact that Borderlands 4 has been getting raked across the coals for its bad performance, mediocre storytelling. And yes, there are some people out there who really freaking love it, but he just can't take 5 minutes from X and actually think about the things before he speaks. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I don't blame Randy Pitchford for coming out and saying, yeah, if you're not running top of the line hardware, you might have some problems running it at the highest graphical settings possible, but that's not what he's doing. It's not that simple. He's going online, he's telling people to disable settings that you actually can't. He's saying, stop being poor and buy a better PC if your game can't run it. And now he's going as far as to tell gamers to code their own engine instead of blaming them for poor optimization on Borderlands 4. When I buy a product, I expect it to run. I expect to be able to play it. I expect it to actually release in a solid state, not for it to be buggy and broken. What other industries is this acceptable in? Do you release half a book? Do you release a book that's missing certain lines and certain sentences? No, you don't. Therefore, you shouldn't ask people to pay $70 to $130, depending on the edition, for a game that is clearly not completed. And this is the same guy who previously had said we should be able to charge more money for our game, and if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to monetarily support it. So Randy Pitchford had already done some serious damage to this game. Randy Pitchford sparks outrage after claiming real fans will figure out how to pay for $80 Borderlands 4. This is such a slap in the face to the customers that have been excited for this title. He had said, not my call. If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school, working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. Yeah, but you are not entitled to people's purchases. And when you treat customers like walking wallets and you give them half-ass products, you're not going to be respected in this space. There's going to be people who are going to be very upset with you. And when it comes to Borderlands 4, there's a group of people who, of course, think that the technical difficulties are completely unacceptable. They think that the story is only okay, and they just feel like it didn't do enough to expand on Borderlands from the previous iterations. My favorites were 1 and 2. 3 was, in my opinion, not a very good game at all whatsoever. 4 is a bit better than 3, that's for sure, though it still isn't what you would expect from a company that put 6 or 7 years into this game, and they put probably $150 million into it, and that's most likely a generous figure. It's probably closer to like 200, but we don't expect you to release a game that's buggy and broken. And clearly it's not just people with potato PCs that are having this issue. There are tons of gamers. I mean, this title is still sitting at mixed over on Steam. There's thousands upon thousands of gamers saying, yeah, I can't run it and I have good specs. I mean, personally, myself, I have a 9950 X3D, 96 gigs, DDR5, 6200 megahertz, I believe, or 64. And then I've got a 5080, a 1200 watt power supply. I should be able to run this game, no problem. I personally was still having stuttering issues. I personally was still having issues where my character would fall through the map and glitch through items, and mobs would glitch through items and get stuck in walls, and then I had to reset quests. Like, that sucks, and that is unacceptable, and that's someone running a NASA-level PC. Never freaking mind the average gamers who are only running okay setups, or setups that are near the minimum or recommended specs and requirements. And now he's going as far as to basically say, go learn to code. I don't know if he thinks that this is funny. I don't know if he thinks being an edgelord is going to gain him more respect in this industry. I don't know why he's not just putting the phone down, because when you are a CEO and you're making comments like this, it just doesn't come across well. And I know that he puts slash sarcasm as if that's not actually his like real train of thought. No, haha, he's trying to be funny. It doesn't come across that way. Code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. We will be your customers when you pull it off. The people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing, and all support and recommendations in code and architecture from the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies working with the world's greatest real-time graphics engine coders don't know what you seem to know. It's just so insulting. Just because you put sarcasm or you put funny after it, or if you're saying just kidding, doesn't mean you actually are wanting to come across humorously. You're really just sitting here bitching about the fact that people are having a tough time with your product and it's not running the way that people expect. Like, he's going on and on and on about this. It doesn't run for people. It shouldn't have released in this terrible state. You should actually be listening to your customers instead of sitting here saying, boo-hoo, every PC gamer must accept the reality of the relationship between their hardware and what the software they are running is doing. We have made an amazing and fun and huge looter shooter campaign game. The game is pretty damn optimal, which means that the software is doing what we want without wasteful cycles on bad processes. With Borderlands 4, every PC gamer has a lot of tools to balance their preferences between FPS resolution and rendering features. If you aren't happy with the balance between these things you are experiencing, please tune to your preferences using the tools available to you. Yeah, I'd like to tune the rubber banding out. I'd like to tune the stuttering out. I'd like to tune my character falling through the world out. You see, it doesn't work that way. Just because you say, oh, you can tune it to your preferences doesn't fucking mean we can tune your awfully developed game to our freaking preferences. He says it is a mistake to believe or expect that PCs between minimum specs and recommended specs can achieve all of the extremely high frame rate, maximum and ultra features, and extremely high resolution. If that last post makes you have a negative reaction, I bet you have emotions and expectations that you feel aren't sufficiently attended to. I'm sorry, but please accept that the game is doing a lot and running pretty optimally, and that you may have to either accept some trade-offs between FPS features and resolution as your preference, or you will continue to be disappointed. And it's just a bad response by a guy like this. He's getting absolutely wrecked by gamers. 1.7k likes, 1.3k reposts, and 2.7k comments. And I can sit here all day and show off all of the comments that he's making, and of course all of the backlash that he's facing. But some people are saying, be a man, dude. Every game developer must accept their reality, that if their game is optimized, they won't have to make tweets like this. How bro felt when writing this? Yes, you are all wrong. Your game runs like garbage, and no, it's not okay, especially when it also runs at extreme below resolution on consoles, while at the same time looking worse than Borderlands 2. You made a bad game on a bad engine with a bad approach and even worse arrogance. Those are the facts. Absolutely true. In reality, you and Gearbox are garbage at what you do. You morons haven't made a good game since Borderlands 2, and what is a surprise to no one is you can't optimize your games for shit. Truth hurts, don't it? Make way for the indies AAA peasants. Hey, Randy, first I just want to say that I love Borderlands 4. I've never been captured by the previous titles. This one hits different. I am begging you to stop tweeting. Even the fans of this game are saying, yeah, you're not doing it a service. So I'll be keeping my eye on the situation and Randy Pitchford's social media to see what else he says. But right now, he is absolutely melting down online at all of the backlash that he is facing, that his game is facing. And really, he's taking a lot of the criticisms towards this game personally, which is never what a CEO should be doing. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.